I'd like to welcome all of you. What a fantastic turnout today. Thank you for your support. Let's thank our sponsors, our presenting sponsors of this event, CenterPoint Energy, Johnson Development, and WCA Waste. You can clap, it's all right. Also, thanks to our underwriting sponsors, Alan Boone Humphreys Robinson, Alyssa Wiedemeyer, Hewlett Zollers, I messed that up, you'll help me, and PJL. I'd like now for our Chamber Board of Directors, Division Chairs, Chairman Circle members to please stand. Please stand. Thank you, Doug. And now will all of our elected officials and first responders please stand and be recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, please look around. We are privileged to have so many outstanding elected leaders with us here today, and we appreciate your service and commitment to our community. At this time, the Missouri City's Police Honor Guard will present the colors. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are pleased this morning to invite Russell Clark to the stage to lead us in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Russell. At this time, let's welcome Pastor Ed Burns of the Heritage Baptist Church to the podium for an opening prayer.
If you'll indulge me, I'm going to make this a prayer of thanksgiving, if that's all right with everybody. Let us go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we come, and we just want to thank you for this gathering. We want to thank you for this place that we call home. Father, we want to thank you for every leader and elected and hired official, volunteer that you have placed among us. Lord, they all need wisdom, and we want that wisdom to come from you. Thank you for all of those who are in this city that keep us safe and respond to the call. We thank you for our chief of police and his staff. We thank you for our fire chief and his staff. God, we thank you for the protective hands that you place upon them each and every time that they answer the call. We thank you for every resident and every business owner who makes the city great and what it is. We thank you for the leadership of our mayor, his vision, his motivation, and his love for this city. We thank you, God, for loving us and giving us this city to take care of and to care over. Let us never be satisfied, but rather let us strive for excellence. Let us not grow weary. Let us represent your qualities to one another in the decision-making, in our neighborhoods, and for the future of our city. Now, thank you, God, for this time to reflect, acknowledge, and look forward to what has, what is, and what will be landmarks of this city. In your name I pray, amen.
Please be seated. Please be seated and enjoy your lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to invite Mayor Alan Owen onto the stage to present the 2018 Missouri City State of the City.
I told Anthony I think they just gave my speech. That great presentation, but I told Chris I would hold my hour and a half long speech to shorter than that. So, Doug, don't leave on me, okay? Anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our first class community center. We're excited to see all of you here and this revitalized event venue, and I hope that you've had an opportunity to view it a little bit. I told someone the other day, it's kind of, I say this tongue-in-cheek, it's kind of like putting lipstick on the pig. But we've done a great job of converting what I always considered a very sterile civic type environment to one that is a venue that everyone in the city can use. We have weddings now, we have all kinds of events in here. Anthony and I are going to figure out how we can fix the chairs from squeaking necks. We either grease the chairs or grease the floor. I don't know which we're going to do. I'm proud to say that the Show Me City is having another great year, and I'm going to share some of those accomplishments with you today. But first, I'd like to introduce my team that, you're going to hear about a lot of things today, and it wasn't because of what I did. I just provide some leadership. It's what we do as a team and what we do as a council. So I want to introduce that other team. Stand up over here. We've got Chris Preston, Floyd Emery, Jerry White. I know Anthony Maroulis was here earlier, but his boss is in town and he excused him. So where is he? Hey, he's right here. Okay. So you can get up and leave when you want to now, Anthony. And I know Yolanda had work scheduled today, but I couldn't do this without that great help. Oh, Jeffrey, I didn't see you come in. How about you, Jeffrey Boney? All right. You're supposed to have been over there with us, Jeffrey. That's why. There are some people that I would like to single out, and I'm not going to single out every elected official, but there are people in this room that, as a city, we can't operate without their help, and that's the county and the state. So I know that Commissioner Prestidge is here. Where are you, Commissioner? And I'll talk about what he's doing for us. But I've got State Representative Phil Stevenson here. Phil, stand up. Representative Ron Reynolds. And my newest best friend, Senator Boris Miles. Thank you guys for being here. I tell you, you saw some of the stuff during Harvey. We couldn't have done it without the help of those people as well as our congressional delegation. And I know that Doc Holliday's here representing the congressman who is in Washington, D.C. today. So, Doc. We're very fortunate, I think, in the generosity of our event sponsors, and I think that I'm going to mention those again because I think they're worth mentioning. Centerpoint Energy, PGAL, Hewitt Zollers, Johnson Development, Dr. Alicia Wiedemeyer, WCA Waste Corporation, Allen Boone Humphreys Robinson, LLP, Home Depot, and Phoenix Design. So please give them another hand. And always, I want to thank the Chamber for their great partnership in helping us put this together. Every year it's a different thing for us, and we try to change things up. So hopefully, when I make my comments this year, they're not going to be pie charts and graphs and all that stuff, but it's really talking about the accomplishments that we've done. Each and every person that's in this room today has contributed to the success of this city. And we recognize your tireless commitment and why the region remains as one of the fastest growing areas in the nation. I would be remiss if I didn't at least acknowledge one other person in this room that I have to go home with. My wife of 50 years, Jane. I know I tell this story because I'm very proud of it, the fact that on August the 26th of 2018, there was a storm that came to town, and it wasn't my anniversary because I spent the next 7 days in our operations center celebrating our anniversary. So we actually put it off, for a while, and it kept raining, but we got it done. But anyway, you have to have a wife that supports you. I've been in office now for 32 years, and we've been married 50, so there's just a few of those years that I wasn't, in fact, involved in the city in some ways. So, she's my partner. Anyway, it's just a time of growth, renewal, innovation. In fact, today we're sitting in a prime example of this prosperity. When you walked in, many of you had the opportunity to view our new visitor center. And the facility is central to the city's new tourism program and has technological innovations that will be critical to bringing visitors to our city. For recreation, golf, our staycations, great food, affordable shopping, and much, much more. Across the city, development can be seen in every council district. To the east, businesses continue to build in premier Lakeview Business Park. For instance, Rich Food is planning to expand its footprint. AER, a national manufacturing company, continues to thrive, and LT Foods, America's a global producer and distributor of the authentic basmati rice, opened their doors last year and is already planning to expand their facility. To the west, rooftops are being raised in new subdivisions, increasing home ownership in the residential population. To the north, industrial expansion along US 90A and Beltway 8 remains a priority as developers competitively vie for commercial partners. On US 98, Best Buy is building a 550,000 square foot distribution center for large items ranging from major appliances to 4K televisions. We're also welcome the Texas Leaguer Brewing Company, FedEx, and others, which is anticipated to bring more than 350 new jobs to our city. And then Trammell Crow's business, Park 890 Park, is attracting industrial tenants from across the country. And in 2017, we were excited to welcome partners such as electrical supply distributor Rexel and global laboratory suppliers VWR International, whose groundbreaking actually was featured in New York City's Times Square that morning. To the south, residential and commercial expansion continues at a steady pace, reflecting the current pace that's adding investment to our community, resulting in a positive impact on the city's tax base. Along Highway 6, Fairfield Inn and the Holiday Inn and Suites are under construction, and Tang City Plaza, this is the new Tang City Plaza, and are open for business. For many of you who've been around a long time, remember we had a Tang City once before. It's evident that economic development continues to thrive citywide, and things are only looking positive moving forward. I'm proud to announce that last week, the City Council approved its first economic development plan. The city engaged TIP strategists last year to assist in the creation of a strategic plan for the city's economic development efforts. The resulting plan identifies a set of recommendations to position Missouri City for new business growth and investment. The plan includes an implementation matrix that outlines the actions, priorities, and the time frames needed to execute the recommendations effectively. In addition, the plan provides specific recommendations to facilitate development and redevelopment along 3 major corridors in the city: Texas Parkway and Cartwright, FM 1092, and the Fort Bend Parkway. The objectives of these corridor-specific strategies is to better prepare the city to assist with and encourage investment in these corridors when the market opportunities come around and arise. During the discovery phase of this planning process, the consulting team held more than 24 interviews with civic leaders, local employers, real estate developers, brokers, and citizens, and other key stakeholders. The final plan was completely based on an assessment of relevant trends and characteristics that influence Missouri City's economic potential. This assessment includes analysis of the city's demographics, which we've kind of talked about, that we are the most diverse city in the region, employment patterns, land use and real estate conditions, physical landscape, and other qualitative and quantitative factors affecting Missouri City's competitiveness. Right now, my fellow council members and I are prioritizing which aspects of the plan we want the city staff to implement first. And our next steps will be shared through all of our citizen communication tools, which we have available to you. Today, you join us for the first time ever in our newly renovated community center. Several years ago, we embarked on a complete renovation of both the interior and the exterior of this facility. I want to personally thank, as you came in today, you were entertained by our jazz saxophonist, Teresa Grayson. Where's Teresa? Stand up, Teresa. Anyway, she was performing on our new outdoor plaza, which the city completed earlier this year. The new performance plaza has already been utilized during public events such as our annual community night out. This area is intended as a public gathering space for our residents, visitors, and outside travelers, and we hope all of you will return and enjoy this scenic plaza in the future. Now, the visitor center that you're in today and outside was fully funded by our hotel occupancy tax. And we were able to hire a full-time tourism manager with money from our hotel motel tax. The visitor center and community center upgrades are part of a series of renovations underway at the complex. The visitor center will future expand our branding and features a virtual assistant. If you saw her when you walked in, it scared you when she talked to you. Actually moves with you when you talk to her. But anyway, that's a great piece of advertisement for us. And we've got a conference room and a revolving art showcase, which I'm hoping you saw today as well. The entire City Hall complex is being repainted with a fresh palette of colors. Landscaping upgrades are being made around the complex, and future plans are being finalized for the City Hall placemaking project, which will potentially include a children's garden, art installations, water features, and something that's very dear to all of us, a Veterans Memorial. One area Council and I have always concentrated on is transportation, and how all of our amenities, businesses, and programs are accessible to all populations. Many of you hopefully have noticed that this community connector bus that was sitting outside is part of what we're going to do. And I know we have people here from Metro today. Will you please stand? Our partners at Metro. Where are you? There, right over there. We requested this community connector bus be present today to announce it in partnership and as a member of Metro. This fall, a new transportation service will be launched in Missouri City. Metro's Community Connector will bring personalized curb-to-destination service. This on-demand service allows individuals to travel anywhere within the city and within the zone, 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, for $1.25, connecting individuals to jobs, grocery stores, hotels, restaurants, the new HCC Missouri City campus, and Metro's local bus network that goes downtown. Right outside of this first-class facility is the epicenter of the development our city is experiencing. Right next door, where many of you actually park today, is the brand new Houston Community College Center for Entrepreneurship, Technology, and Health, which brings an investment, our HCC people, brought a $25 million investment to Texas Parkway. This is the largest single capital investment made on Texas Parkway in more than 20 years. Only now in its first year enrollment, HCC campus has already launched some exciting innovative programs unique to the CETH campus, including the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program, a program for small businesses that links learning to action. Through the program, our local Missouri businesses will gain practical skills in topics like negotiation, marketing, and employee management that can immediately be put into action. In addition, they'll receive the tools and the professional support they need to develop a strategic and customized business growth plan that will take this company to the next level. And let me just stop there and say we would not have been able to even have that campus over there had it not been the partnership of a lot of people that are in this room. Johnson Development, the college itself, the George Foundation, and others that got involved and helped us make this happen in the county, which really stepped up and made it happen. Under construction next door is another project that our partners, the county, is involved in, and that's the Missouri City Library expansion. And I know Grady made a great point on the film earlier, but again, I want to thank him for his involvement in that program to make it work. You got to have somebody that champions your efforts, and obviously he's one of those people that does that. But they have began a $6.4 million renovation of the existing campus. As it said earlier, that old campus does not have the things that kids need today in a library. It's full of books. They don't read books anymore. They plug computers in, and we found out, didn't we, Commissioner, there's not enough electric power in that building over there to handle all that. So part of the renovation and part of that three-story building is to make sure we've got electrical power for these kids, that when they come in there, we've got computers for them to use, because I think the dust is going to settle on the books, and I don't know what we're going to do with them, Commissioner. Maybe we'll have a book sale over there one day. But it'll be a 9,600 square foot, three-story building that's addition to the library that's already there. And like I said, it's going to have computer labs, study rooms, meeting spaces, and we're excited that our HCC students are able to walk next door and have that library that they had in Siena, but they're going to have here. These close partnerships between the city, the county, and HCC serve as a catalyst for future growth and development along this entire corridor. We've already had new businesses open, including Discount Tire, Danny. Thank you. And then the Dollar Tree, Cartwright Road, the Quail Valley Shopping Center renovation. Previously, to attract reinvestment in existing properties along Cartwright Road, Texas Parkway, and portions of 1092, the city created an economic development incentive policy where we rebate a portion of the new value that is created from the capital investment back to the owners of those facilities. At our March 19th regular City Council meeting, I'm pleased to announce that Council and I approved a resolution authorizing the economic development agreement between the city and a developer who has further planned improvements for the Quail Valley Shopping Center on Cartwright. In 2017, City Council adopted the latest update to our comprehensive plan, which is designed as a framework for guiding future development, redevelopment, and community enhancements in the city and its associated planning area for over the next 20 years and beyond. It'll help us solidify our vision for the city's future, something our staff has already made great strides in recently to achieve. To understand our success, I want to provide just a few numbers. For example, a total of 10,410 permits were issued thus far this fiscal year, which with an estimated property value of $219 million, and generated $1,366,000 in permit fees. We're excited to see innovative new technology, future streamline and expand the success of our permits division. For example, the Development Services and Innovation and Technology teams recently collaborated on the city's conversion to a new permitting software system, InterGov, which is already improving efficiencies. We have a commitment to remain a scenic city, and that includes working with our commercial business partners to promote uniformity, which is why our team facilitated the adoption and update process of the city's code of ordinance regarding new standards for mobile food trucks, as well as window coverings for commercial storefronts. Our community development block grant program, which continues to move forward with public outreach and working with regional partners to benefit citizens across the Fort Bend area. The city adopted a new policy for CDBG's housing program to overhaul the previous processes and establish clear contractual procedure. The housing rehabilitation program is now more customer-friendly, and project oversight is more manageable. Through our program, staff completed the Hunters Grand Park parking lot and lighting project. This project enhances our park amenities for providing the installation of parking lot lighting and additional parking in Hunters Glen Park within that target area. We also saw progress with the Buffalo Run Park. The project provides replacement of existing high-maintenance driveways, including walking and jogging trails within the Hunters Glen Park CGB target area. The city is also making strides with infrastructure improvements. In 2017-2018, maintenance was done on more than 90,000 square feet of streets and sidewalks citywide, including Trammell Fresno, Hurricane Lane, and Gregory Boulevard. Currently, work is underway on Ashmont Drive, Adams Street, and the Glen Lakes Bridge, Trammell Fresno widening, and the Mustang Bayou Service Area Regional Lift Station rehabilitation. We're also in the design phase of the independent segments 1 and 2, Staffordshire Road, Waterfall Drive, Knight Road Extension, the Glen Lakes Bridge over Oyster Creek, and the Regional Treatment Plant Phase 2 expansion. Corridor enhancements are also under design. New monument and reader signs, landscape upgrades, and other site work will be done at locations throughout the city, including along Texas Parkway, Cartwright, and the other corridors. The current focus on innovation by our citizens, City Council, the staff, and stakeholders is critical to our ongoing transformation as one of the nation's best places to live and raise a family, to visit, to build a business, and to work. We're also the only platinum scenic city in the region, which is evidenced by our pristine green space and strict development regulations. Throughout the past year, we reached new milestones across the board, and we faced challenges as a city unparalleled to any that we've seen before. Our city made headway in pushing for growth and innovation in public safety, economic development, financial transparency, our online web and social media branding, business plans, infrastructure improvements, code enforcements, internal, external communication, customer service, and finally, the emergency preparedness and response. The latter was most occurred and did during the Hurricane Harvey, when our team members from all over every department worked tirelessly around the clock to safeguard the citizens at the city. I'll always remember what I said to city staff on that first day of activation. I knew that many of the team members in that room and out in the field were preparing to risk their own lives for our residents. They were leaving loved ones at home, saying goodbye to family members while they were evacuating themselves. Many of them knew that their own homes and property were about to possibly be destroyed. And I said to everyone that night, I love this city, and I hate to see something like this happen to it. And I did, because I will tell you that as we sat there and we heard that the Brazos River was going to be at 59 feet for 9 days. And we had inundation maps on the wall that showed that even at 58 feet, this entire city would have flooded. So yeah, I was panicking. I was glad that the river, crested before it got to that point, but I was very concerned about it. I was concerned about our own staff. I'm going to tell you one little short story. We had a fireman who came to work to help people get out of their homes, because we did 1,300 high water evacuations during that storm. He didn't even know, and he lived in the Kingwood, and he didn't even know until he got here that day that he had 6.5 feet of water in his own apartment, that his own family was being evacuated out of their apartment. But yet he was here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, doing what he needed to do. You bet. You know, while Harvey was something we could never predict, in spite of what some people thought that I was not prepared for, and while we were prepared for the worst, I'm proud to say that the Show Me City team delivered the best. I want to acknowledge the countless team members, residents, stakeholders, commercial partners, public safety team members, and volunteers who immediately stepped up to the plate to assist before, during, and after the history-making storm that our city had. Every single team member exemplified our credo, together we excel. And I've never been more proud than I was during that time. During this 7-day rescue period, our public safety crews rescued more than 1,300 residents, both inside our city limits and outside in our ETJ, and staff coordinated the use of our city facilities as a resource center for disaster. Public Works staff were involved in planning and preparedness leading to the Hurricane Harvey event. The department's engineering and GIS staff mapped out various inundation areas that I mentioned based on predicted river stages, and these were used in preparing our evacuation and rescue plan that was based on what we thought the river was going to crest at. The city center at Quail Valley housed more than 60 state troopers for 6 nights and National Guard members for 2 nights. Many of the officers and guardsmen also used resources at the Recreation and Tennis Center during that stay. We still have a long road to recovery. City officials and the staff continue to collaborate with agencies and consultants in regard to Harvey recovery. For those that you may have seen in the past weeks, I've had an opportunity to testify before 2 very well worth hearings. I hope something comes out of it. But Monday before last, I testified before the Congressional Homeland Security Committee on lessons learned from Harvey. And then the following Thursday, I was in Washington, D.C. and testified before the Senate Commerce Committee on what we're doing to prepare ourselves going forward. And I will say that Congressman Green is responsible for me being at one of them, and I guess Senator Cruz invited me after he heard my testimony at the one on Monday to come and talk to the Senate committee. But I had an opportunity to visit with our elected officials when we were there to talk about how we can prepare ourselves for this to happen again. And it will happen again. We know that. We've had three floods in the city, so we've had 8 major storms since I've been in office, so you can't ever really prepare for it. But anyway, I want to thank them for doing it. As Congressman Green wanted me to testify to the effect of what major storms have on small cities. We know what happens with Houston. We know what happens in San Antonio. We know what happens in Dallas. But those of us who are mayors of smaller cities, it has a huge impact on us financially when we have to take money out of our budget to pay overtime for these people to work, to buy supplies. And let me just say, FEMA is not the best in the world about reimbursing you. I testified at that hearing that in 2010, when Ike hit, that it was 2013 before FEMA reimbursed us for the money we spent during that. I've not received a penny since either flood, the Tax Day flood, Memorial Day flood, and I sure haven't seen anything from Harvey yet. And it will be a while before we do it. And that comes out of our reserve, which affects us in more ways than you can imagine. But I'm proud to say that the top-notch efforts of our first responders and our frontline staff continue to receive praise from City Council, citizens, and commercial partners who showed an impressive amount of commitment to response in the days and the months following Hurricane Harvey. At last week's City Council meeting, we had the honor of accepting a check from Mudra, Inc. from proceeds the group raised at a Hurricane Harvey benefit that they had. And you heard earlier where Niagara Cares, which is the philanthropic area, part of Niagara Bottling Company, pledged thousands of dollars to local relief efforts, and other companies have also provided. This will be a common thread that I mentioned today, but our community partners and the relationship that many of our commercial partners have made with us are crucial to our success as we remain fiscally responsible and conservative. FEMA mitigation specialists were at Home Depot and Lowe's this week to provide free information, tips, and literature on helping make homes stronger and safer and helping those people get through that process. The Lowe's Home Improvement Charitable and Education Foundation announced in 2017 that the city received $50,000 grant for the Quail Valley North Park Playground Replacement Project. We earned the highest level of funding from them to replace playground equipment that was destroyed by an arsonist and had not been replaced yet due to limited resources. Our partners again at Niagara Bottle were committed to partner for our Parks and Recreation team. Recently, they committed $75,000 for improvements to existing equipment in Community Park and $25,000 for the construction of our future skate park. There was another organization, and they're in the back corner back here, ladies, that Niagara helped, and it's one that is very important to the city. Missouri City also capped off 2017 by being the recipient of 3 grant awards for park and recreation programming. The National Recreation Parks Association Walk with Ease Instructor Training Grant, the United States Tennis Association's Blended Lines Grant, and the U.S. Lacrosse First Stick Program Grant. This smart financial approach to reinvesting in existing parks allowed the city to branch out into exciting new areas, including the launch of our MCTX lacrosse program for those lacrosse people. Their team is called Mayhem. And our inaugural MCTX Fest, an event highlighted local food, art, and music, which with the help of our numerous city departments became a city event with approximately 3,000 attendees throughout the day. Our new relationship I'm especially proud of is with the Snowdrop Foundation, who for the first time this year chose to host their internationally recognized Ultra 55-hour race and relay in Missouri City's Buffalo Run Park over the New Year's holiday. For those that don't know anything about the Snowdrop Foundation, and the reason they call it the Ultra 55 is that they run 55 straight hours. Their goal is 250 miles in that period of time. If you can imagine running 250 miles, I don't even want to drive that far. But anyway, they were here for the first time. They set some world records. They had a paraplegic Vietnam vet who made that 100 miles in a wheelchair. Yeah. But they had a world record set here, and that the man that ran 250 miles in 50 hours. And it made the track magazine, the National Track Magazine. I got a call this week, because the city's going to help sponsor it. I got a call this week that last year when they had it here, it took about 8 hours for them to fill out the people who were going to run. This year they finished in 57 minutes. They were full and turning people away in 57 minutes to run in this. And this is an organization that raises money for pediatric cancer patients. And so many of the people who do this have loved ones who have suffered with pediatric cancer. But anyway, they're going to be back again this year. Needless to say, it's on New Year's. If you want to come out, it's too late for you to sign up, but just come out and watch these people. It is an amazing, they set up a city out there. And we provide basically a 1-mile track, and they have a little meter on their ankle, and they know exactly how many miles they've run. But to see these people run for 55 straight hours is amazing. Anyway, our 501c3 Parks Foundation is currently in the midst of its first strategic priority, which I mentioned earlier, which is dear to me and all of us in this room, our future Veterans Memorial, slated for construction in the City Hall complex right here. The memorial is set to be the signature and kickoff project for our City Hall placemaking initiative. Efforts are underway now to engage private citizens, foundations, and corporate partners to help us achieve an overall $1.5 million goal. The first part of that, the first phase of that, is $750,000. Any of you in this room want to sign up, now's the time to do it. But anyway, our goal is to complete the fundraising by June of this year. Our partnership's not only helping us build new infrastructure, but almost make future lasting commitments to our scenic city. In 2017, park staff directed the Houston Area Urban Forestry Team Planting Competition, which resulted in 2,078 trees being planted at Buffalo Run Park, Community Park, and Oyster Creek Trail. Only 160 of those trees were actually purchased with city funds. The remainder were donated by families and private corporations. Also in 2017, 24 trees were planted in the Memorial Tree Program. Overall, the department received 16 grants in numerous donations for urban forestry activities valued at $53,000. In fact, Quail Valley Golf Course hosted more than 136,000 guests and 60,180 rounds of golf, and the City Center hosted 161 corporate and charity events and 364 non-golf events. The county's excellent financial stewardship has earned us a AA score from Standard & Poor's Global Rating, a AA2 score from Moody's Investors, and the Government Financial Officers Association and of U.S. and Canada's Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for 29 straight years. The GFOA's Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for 34 years. And most recently, the State Comptroller's Transparency Star in Traditional Finances, which recognizes entities for their outstanding efforts in making their spending and revenue information easily and accessibly online. Financial Services and Communications partnered this first initiative, and the process was achieved through our newly recognized website, which has a customized department homepage and a unique URL. Residents and stakeholders may now go to www.mctxfinance.com and easily access all of our budget and all of our financial statements for people to review. The increase of the Show Me City score is great news for our first-class citizens. The city's sound financial management that went into earning this upgrade future reflects our capacity to meet our financial commitments throughout time. In 2017, Missouri City residents voted to approve a change in the city's fiscal year to October 1st through September 30th. With the changes in the budget cycle, planning for fiscal year 2019 has already begun. City Manager Snipes' office has already been meeting with all our departments to discuss and review their proposed budget submissions. Our financial transparency would not be a success without another area of growth: internal and external communications, which has been advanced through the redesign of the city's main web presence, www.missouricitytx.gov, and the first mobile app, MCTX Mobile. And redesign features social media connection, branding our city, all those things gives us the ability to translate content into multiple languages that represent our cultural diversity. I keep reiterating this, but partnerships are vital. Last June, our communications team took home 3 TAMI Awards. It's kind of like the Academy Awards, TAMI, T-A-M-I. The TAMI Award for Special Publication for the MCTX Fest, Mother's Day Cake Decorating, and the Community Night Out Flyer. The Award of Excellence for Electronic Newsletter for the City Manager's Update, and an Award of Honor for regular program for its MCTX series, Kids Corner. Given out by the Texas Association of Municipal Information Officers, the communications branch of the Texas Municipal League, the TAMI Awards are the highest achievement in the Municipal Information Office to receive. And I'm very proud of that department for what they do. Also, we received on September 28th from Nextdoor, we invited the city's communication department to an appreciation breakfast at the Harris County Sheriff's Office for utilizing their website that they actually used in utilizing information during Harvey. We want to thank our partners at Nextdoor for aiding us in that. You know, I said that public-private partnerships are especially crucial to our public safety department. In 2017, Fire and Rescue Services launched a community engagement plan to help the department maintain a positive community partnership. Through this plan, our firefighters seek to create a collaborative relationship with people, use newer untapped systems and equipment that will evolve as input is received from stakeholders. And it was also extended into our police department's 2017 initiative, resulting in the city making Safe Home Organization's 2017 list of the safest cities in the U.S., ranking number 13 in Texas. Safe Home does this when they conduct reviews of home security systems, looking at the FBI's latest reports on how many and what types of crimes are reported and how they've occurred within the city. The number of law enforcement officers compared to the population and the demographic metrics that are correlated to crime. In 2017, we saw an almost across-the-board drop in total crime from the previous year. Our total Part 1 crime, which is murder, assault, robbery, larceny, and motor vehicle theft, so an overall 16% decrease. They're down to the lowest point in the previous 5 years. Property crime, which is also down 24% from 2016 to 2017. As part of Part 2 crimes, which includes forgery, fraud, embezzlement, vandalism, stolen property, and disorderly conduct, among others, also saw a 16% decrease. Anyway, we've started addressing code violations more than we ever have before. In the this past fiscal year, code enforcement officers have conducted about 5,900 inspections to date. This is almost 597 inspections per month, a significant metric given to our code division. Only has a staff of 8 officers and 1 supervisor. But anyway, it reflects the priority that the city has on code enforcement and part of our maintaining of our Platinum Scenic City status. The performance is also reflective of the widespread utilization of the See, Click, Fix application which our citizens have begun to use. Next door to our public safety office is our municipal court, which had an amazing year. During Harvey, that became probably the staging point for us, along with our EOC, but working with our public information officers to answer citizens' request line and respond to the hundreds, if not thousands, of phone calls that came in 24 hours a day. It should be no surprise that the team earned 4 awards at the Texas Court Clerks Association Annual Banquet for Extraordinary Achievement in Norma West and Distinguished Service Monica Whitsey, Tanya Munoz, and Erica Gleghorn. The team also earned an honorable mention for traffic safety initiatives. Now, all these achievements across all departments were accomplished through our partnerships, as I mentioned before. You know, we had within the city this past year, we had job fairs at we had more than 25 employers from Missouri City who were there. Fort Bend County, Harris County joined more than 1,000 residents and neighbors to register and attend this event, benefiting our local businesses and employers. Earlier this month, City Manager Anthony Snipes hosted the inaugural Pinnacle HPO Award luncheon to recognize some of our employees and managers in all departments for their excellence in public service and their commitment to the city's values. This year, we were very fortunate in that Barry Hamilton, where's Barry? There's Barry right over there, and our forester, Paul was, yeah, you can give him a hand. And Paul Wisnicki, and then our own Stacy Walker of our communications team was also recognized as the Director of the Year. Yeah. We've come a long way since in the last 62 years, I think, that the city's been in existence, and we'll continue to make headlines with our ongoing milestone. One of those milestones was dear to me this year, and most of you in this room won't even know who I'm talking about, but I did earlier this year present a key to the city to Travis Scott. Everybody goes, who is Travis Scott? Well, he and Kylie Jenner just had a baby together, if you don't know who that is. But Travis is from Missouri City, and he was here, and I tell you, it was an amazing young man. He has never received any award, and he said, when I get my Grammy, it's coming here, Mayor, because I'm going to put it at City Hall. But anyway, he's a local person, and in his songs, if you listen to him, he actually talks about Missouri City. And we have a lot of other people from Missouri City that I won't mention that are entertainers, but they don't ever talk about Missouri City. So he does, and I made a special effort to get him here to do that. So 3 days after the baby was born. Operationally, city values will remain central to the implementation and accomplishments of city plan goals. They also embody the spirit of our quality program and services, which means all of our employees focus on service, professionalism, innovation, respect, integrity, and teamwork as they work on projects that impact economic development. The budget, public safety, capital improvement projects, technology, upgrades, and policies and procedures. The city has achieved so much by being proactive and not reactive, by leveraging our resources and by building our partnerships. And through it all, we will never lose sight of our city credo. Together, we excel. Thank you all for coming today. And I did miss the other county commissioner. He's talking to, county commissioners talk, don't they?
They talk a lot.
Yeah. Vince, I was trying to introduce you. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you, Mayor Owen. This is an exciting time for the city of Missouri City and has much to be proud of and much to look forward to.